Northern or Lake End of Football Park, and Peter Bubner will get the first free kick of the game as Hall cannoned into him at the centre bounce. Unable to take it, and Jamie Thomas puts the Bulldogs direct and long. Chaplin running through well, slips it out, a good tap over by Lally, finds Kickett. The hook shot towards goal, however, is offline, and a let-off for the Red League defence. 1 point on the board at the 27-minute mark.
And Peter Bubner in all sorts of trouble at the centre bounce. Crashed heavily on the left-hand shoulder, and he is supposedly suffering from the flu as well.
Yes, that certainly took the wind out of him, Darryl. In there is Lally. Lally got a short kick away. Richardson into the side at the expense of Justin Scanlon, who was a late withdrawal due to a hamstring injury. So Richardson coming back into the side. Of course, he was forced to serve a 4-week suspension for an incident. Oh, and there's that could have been the evener upper. Lounder in there. Hall is down. Now Lounder, who came down the ground to get involved in that passage of play, is now running back to his forward pocket. Went back to kick behind the play.
Well, Big Richard, the biggest man on the field, believes he was entitled to even up.
Well, there's an old saying, an eye for an eye, as Warhurst brings the ball to the outer side. He finds Claby. Claby's kick is a wobbly one forward. It goes to the centre-half forward region. It went past Francis. Back there was Bradios. Strong work. He gets the ball out towards Lounder. He tapped it towards Scott Lee. His kick is long. Gilbert McAdam couldn't control it. Coming through is Fosdyke. Oh, great tackle applied there by Smith. And a pretty fiery open.
Well, Mark Pryor slid underneath that ball, took possession, but Duncan Fosdyke almost clear. Smith the tackle, and for a player who had an injury, well done.
Big hit forward by Lounder. Good use of the body, Graham. Kelly, but help there by Thomas. Well played, Kelly. The tackle too late, and Hall recovering into the back pocket. Claby off hands, wants help from Warhurst. Pettit wants it further afield, but he goes for Richardson. Finds him ahead of half-back. Kick up to the centre wing area. Ducker out, too late, and Brady will get the free kick, so a lot of early interference.
Just a little bit of lack of control at Football Park at the moment. Both sides keen to bruise.
One suspects there could be some fireworks in this game, and that's a good mark by Jared Thorpe. So the youngster, his first season with the Norwood Football Club, kicks up high. Brady from behind tried to mark that in opposition to Brenton Maynard. Anderson got the ball out towards Stephen Rowe. Now that's more direct play by Rowe. He was looking for Rodney Maynard. Oh, Botka tried to kick that off the ground. In fact, it was Sullivan. The man at the bottom of the pack is Botka, and he'll receive that free kick in the right back pocket.
Kept his body over the ball well and won the free.
Chips out to Gavin Chaplin, and Darryl Chaplin obviously troubled by a hamstring or a driving muscle.
On that left thigh, but running quite evenly.
Had a sensational season this year. His first also in the SANFL, and there's a big mark there that's been taken by Craig Kelly, the Norwood strongman, as he handles out towards Stephen Rowe. So the Red Leagues trying to assemble some run into their game. Rowe's kick is wide, and it's out of bounds on the full.
Craig Kelly showing a lot of courage when he came across the pack. The centre half back today. A very, very important duel against Philip Graham.
Stephen Swert kicking just over the half-back line. Bubner spoiled by Hall. Got off nicely to McIntosh. Threw it to Aish. Now Pettit wide. No one in the goal square. The kicker's long, searching that area. Baum will get the free kick. In the goal square, tagging, and the umpire right on the mark for the free kick to be paid.
Well, when the two sides played at the parade in round 17, Craig Baum, I gave best player for the Norwood Redlegs. Kept his eye on the ball, and on this occasion, taken out by Paul Sullivan, the umpire's decision correct.
4.5 minute mark of this first term of the qualifying final. The first goal goes on the board from Craig Baum, and Norwood lead by 5 points.
With the breeze, the Redlegs through Pettit, centre wing, the ball to the open pocket, and Craig Baum trapped underneath the ball to win the free. And the Norwood Redlegs, confident, starting well, and will have to concentrate on the action in the centre square. Big Richard Lounder is coming in for his first run. and he'll be opposed to John Hall, and it'll be interesting to watch the action.
Could be a good move by Neil Curley. 5 minutes gone in this first term. Norwood 6 points. The Dogs 1 point. The big thump by Lounder. The ball punched forward by Fosdyke. Out there is Kelly. He leads in the chase. Oh, good support by Richardson. The Shepherd gave Kelly some chance, but the handball was poor. Gilbert McAdam, one of the favourites for this year's McGarry medal, tips out a nice pass and he finds Philip Graham. Graham, probably one of the shortest centre-half forwards in the SANFL. He covers an enormous amount of territory. Oh, that kick was very poor. Ross over the top of that, looking for a free kick. Players go in solidly. And umpire Jack Hilton is officiating in his 17th final, along with Michael Abbott in his first. And it'll be Hilton to bounce.
Right forward pocket for the Bulldogs. The bounce favouring the run-in of Hall. Jared Thorpe worked it out into the path of Rowe. Norwood up over the centre wing area to the vacant centre half forward. Rodney Maynard out, helped by the running Francis. No one in the goal square. Francis goes for goal. Hooks offline. A point the result. Norwood 1-1, Central 1 point.
Well, what a smooth passage of play. Francis, the overlap, the loose player down the corridor. Interesting to watch the breeze. Norwood won the toss, kicked with what they thought was the breeze, but looking at the flags around Football Park, it's now going across the field.
Botka kicks to the outer side. John Hall thumps that ball forward. It was taken by Stephen Rowe. Kick number 3. He's chipped in. Oh, no, that's courageous work by Brady. You want to keep those arms down, though, as he feeds out towards Scotty Lee, last year's best and fairest winner for the Dogs, and that's been well taken by Handley. Chopper Handley just dropped to the reserves for 1 week. Performed very well. Managed to get his position back. Graham, Richardson emerges with the football out towards little Francis. Explosive pace of Francis. Oh, he's very close to the boundary line. In fact, he didn't really control that ball all that well.
And Chaplin showing a dislike for the body then. It'll be interesting to watch that left thigh.
Smith doing the ruck work. Hall gets the tap. Francis working through. Robbed of it by Chaplin. Well smothered Fosdyke. And out for a throw-in. About 40 metres around from the behind post. With the Bulldogs going to the southern end, to the northern end in fact, and Chaplin losing footing at the last minute. Caught was Francis, that time seen, and Tony Francis will take the free kick for Norwood from the back pocket. Little movement further afield. He looks up, Brendan Maynard to contest, couldn't control it, but gets a free kick as the spoil was across the shoulder and face. And Brendan Maynard, who was lined up at centre-half forward, now down at half-back. Good kick to the half-forward area. Lounder with ease. The big fellow well positioned. And a 15-metre penalty as Ducker goes in over the top. And Richard Lounder, looking for the handball option, is forced to kick. Good depth in the kick to the centre-half forward spot. Kelly up. Smith spoils well. Graham rode well on the ground. Chaplin left it behind. Ross, beautifully intercepted by Thomas. And spoils what was some magnificent anticipation. A point only. Central's 2 points. Norwood 1-1.
Jamie Thomas, perfection, the reading of the ball. The intercept, body straightened, but the kick poor.
9 minutes gone. Norwood 1-1-7. The Dogs 2 points. Richardson with possession. The kick is long. Setting himself Brendan Maynard. Brady applied the spoil. Been very strong in that centre-half back position. Players stack up on top of each other.
A long way down from centre-half back Craig Brady. An excellent season, and today opposed to Brendan Maynard.
Hall opposed to Bubner. Hall used his body well. Lally in there. Van Dommel kicks around his body. That ball once more will go out of bounds on the full. 9.5 minutes gone, 7 points placed, 2. Lester Ross. Ducker sets himself, couldn't control the ball. Back there is Brady, but the high tackle and the free kick will go the way of Mark Ducker. Playing on a half-forward flank. Been dogged by injuries this season, particularly hamstring and lower back. But that was a very good kick out to Rodney Maynard. He plays on to McIntosh. McIntosh with the right boot, passes out wide, and he finds Stephen Rowe.
Good use of the ball by the Redlegs, and the overlap from McIntosh, and with the right foot, perfectly placed.
The angle is quite evident. The distance shouldn't be a problem. That's an indication of that breeze taking the ball across the face of goal. Norwood move on to 1-2, 8 points, leading Central 2 behinds.
Well, these conditions, of course, will probably determine the win, loss or draw today, because accuracy will win the game.
Botka to Lally, who got loose very easily, to the centre wing area looking for Jamie Thomas. Good control, McIntosh in pursuit, forced to kick under pressure, but McIntosh had forced him over the line, and the ball will be recalled for a throw-in out of side.
Two of the roughest and the toughest competitors opposed in the centre.
Now, the rain has abated, the skies appear to be clearing, but there's plenty of moisture on the surface. Call that one a draw. Anderson left it behind. Van Dommel in over the top. Big Lounder gets it out. Jamie Thomas helps it on its way. Kick at the run of the ball. Kelly across his path. Beautifully done. Wants some help. Gets it from Richardson, who loses the ball. Stolen by Lally. Out for Smith. Claby working with him. Kick it goes to ground. And Thorpe kicks Norwood back to the half-back line where Hall takes possession.
John Hall has a fumble, has time to recover, gets it out towards Fosdyke, who in turn got it to Rowe, and that was a very deft hand pass over towards Lester Ross. In fact, Ross drives that in long. Now Maynard chips out, looking for Payne. Oh, he managed to get one hand there, couldn't control it. Mark Pryor, the veteran. Oh, what a tremendous rebounding player Pryor has been over the years. And he's found that man, McAdam, and it's a little slippery out there, Gilbert, as he gets the ball over towards Smith. He goes very short, and that kick was poor and indirect.
Well, it might be nerves. Perhaps it's the slippery conditions. But both sides are making very simple, unforced errors. And Gilbert McAdam trying to do too much, and Michael Aish takes the field.
And well done, Norwood. Rodney Maynard running from full forward to get down and tackle in that occasion.
Hall taps over the back of the pack. In there is Warhurst, gets a kick away, a quick kick, and that's normally his style. He's not pretty to watch, Tom Warhurst, but by geez, effective. And Darryl, I'm not sure of your opinion here, but Michael Aish, he's been dogged by that flu, and he appears to have lost a lot of weight. Lounder, good tap, down towards Hanley. Out there, Mandermaker, he took possession. Oh, cleverly tapped on by Lally towards Smith. He punches that ball towards the goal, and he split the centre. So the Dogs starting to do a bit of the attacking. Greg Smith on the comeback trail. The Dogs are 1-2, 8 points. Scores are locked away here at Football Park.
And it took 13 minutes for the Dogs to recover. And the play was perfect. The tap on to Smith and penetrated with a long, low kick. And Greg Smith needing to get touches, out with an injured wrist and forearm. Back last week, most of the time spent on the interchange, but quick touches early.
Lounder and Hall. Bounce favouring Hall. Pettit. Richardson offering support. Chips wide looking for Francis versus Lee. Good use of the body, Tony Francis. Quick to bolt. Rodney Maynard the lead. He searches for that player, but the kick's too high. Baum gives the running support. Brushes the tackle. Square on for goal. And puts his second on the board. So authoritative play from Craig Baum up forward for his second goal, and Norwood lead by 6 points.
Well, as I explained, Baum was best for Norwood, their recent clash. A lot of confidence then. He met that ball strong, evaded Mark Pryor, and nothing between him and goals but the experience, the controlled kick with a breeze across the body. Excellent play from the Norwood ruckman.
8 plays 14. Michael Abbott, as we mentioned, officiating in his first final. It's a high bounce. This time it's Hall who was tackled high, and he hit the ground very solidly. And by gee, hasn't there been some solid work? And there it is there. Lounder got his arm underneath the right arm of John Hall. He lost his balance and crashed very heavily, and doesn't look healthy, Darryl.
Well, that action replay shows again that Richard Lounder just got the arm locked. And of course, John Hall suffered an injury against Glenelg 3 weeks ago in a similar incident.
Rodney Maynard from behind, couldn't get hands on the football. Aish reads that superbly. Now let's see what Baum can do. He's kicked 2. Oh, strong body work by Botka. Francis. Educated tap back to the centre, but there was no one there except for Schwert. He gets that out wide to Thomas. The bounce doesn't favour that player. Norwood have the numbers. Thomas has the desperation. Great work, Jamie Thomas.
3 red legs, 1 Central Districts player, and the ball trapped.
Baum called into ruck. Hall still at the centre circle of the trainers. A little the worse for wear as the bounce takes place at half forward right for Norwood. Knocked back by Van Dommel. Ducker couldn't get clear. And Tom Handley in there again, but it will be a repeat performance. Hall jogging away from the trainers. And looks as though he's going to the bench for a rest. Norwood supporters are happy at least that he's mobile. Brendan Maynard up high. Francis on the free kick goes against Brady.
No way.
Absolutely incorrect umpiring decision. Eye on the ball all the time. Brendan Maynard.
To centre wing is marked by Kelly. Helped by Buckley onto the grounds. Puts it wide. Fosdyke's there. McAdam. Oh, didn't control the ball, but the mark's paid. And that electrifying player, McAdam, uses the side player. Caught was Chaplin. Norwood's tackling building up. Caught was Anderson. Trying to work out. Graham was beautifully caught, and a bounce will occur in the centre of the ground.
It's a final, the qualifying final, and lots of incidents already in the first half of the first quarter.
Philip Graham's kick was wide. Clavey with body over the ball. Oh, Francis tried to take out a player on the outer side. Be not quite big enough to do a lot of damage. 16.5 minutes gone. Norwood 2-2-14. The Dogs 1-2-8. Brenton Maynard down there. Taps the ball out. Over the top, Francis. Couldn't control it. Pryor. Francis in there once more. A crowd of about 20,000 people here at Football Park. The Bulldogs playing in their 10th final. They've lost their last 6. And Richard Lounder, you can hear the boos. That's because Lounder's having a spell. He's come off the ground, and little Eddie Hocking, the pocket rocket, is onto the field. Now that's probably the most physical football I've seen Lounder play this season. With a build like that, why not? Stephen Rowe applied the spoil. Hocking over the top. Oh, quick handball out towards Kickett. Handley, he's put down by Kelly. It was late. Abbott was there. The free kick will be played down the field.
Not looking the best of the wear. Eye on the ball, kept it over. Hocking the player with the ball. The overlap from McAdam. And Handley left himself wide open.
Long kick going in from Chaplin to the pocket. And Baum called out by Warhurst. Warhurst, hasn't got too many options out there. He's got Fosdyke, but there's nothing ahead of Fosdyke now. Has kicked the ball for distance. Brady at the back is a good mark in opposition to Brendan Maynard. And the Bulldogs quick to move the ball. Smith ahead of centre. Was helped by Van Dommel, elected not to go that way, and finds Peter Bubner. Now Bubner could well be within distance. Normally kicks the ball good distance. The man to make it gave the lead. That was ignored. The kick searches the goal square. Rudy contests. McAdam well down in front of goal. Hooks towards that area, but it's a point only. And Central's moved to 1-3, trailing Norwood. 2-2 by 5 points.
Well, the question has to be asked, did Neil Curley send Big Richard Lounder down to even up early in the first quarter? It was also almost premeditated, and now he's having a spell on the fence.
I think you probably know the answer, Darryl. Fosdyke over the top of that football. Good pressure applied by Philip Graham.
Well, the game should start to even out. Players from both sides should start to play the ball. And we're almost 20 minutes into the first.
Well, if they don't, Darryl, this game could be determined by how many men are left standing as Gilbert McAdam gets that towards Chaplin. Oh, that handball was very poor. Chaplin seemed more concerned with the body coming at him. Now McIntosh picks up the crumbs. He gets it over towards Pettit. He drives in. Anderson had front position. The crumbs are picked up by Bubner. Good vision. He saw Jamie Thomas there out wide, so Thomas and McIntosh playing wide of each other. And that's a very good kick by Thomas as he found the chest of Eddie Hocking.
Eddie Hocking in front. Although small, a great leap, able to take it on the bottom. Well, the South Australian Aboriginal of the Year has already represented Australia in indoor soccer. Takes a shot.
Accuracy not there. But by gee, hasn't he become a sensation as a pinch hitter this season?
Played state basketball, state junior football, indoor soccer for Australia, and now playing league football for the Dogs.
Kick in from Warhurst, looking for Kelly, spilling out the back for Graham. Clever evasion, looking now for McAdam. Tapped back beautifully for Van Dommel, given to Hocking. He was looking for Chaplin, but coming across was Handley, and the ball will be thrown in 10 metres from the behind post. Handley with a bit of blood coming down the side. That might have come from that altercation with Kelly. Norwood by 4 points at the 21-minute mark. Francis. Cleverly caught by Chaplin. The umpire again rules the throw-in as Chaplin cornered Norwood's Francis, and it is about 20 metres from the behind post.
I think the Central District side will be pretty happy with their first term against the Breeze.
21.5 minutes gone. Van Dommel was the player to kick that ball back towards the goal. Received a favourable bounce for a minor score. Norwood 2-2. The Dogs move on to 1-5.
Just looking at the players who've been involved in incidents, Bubner's recovered, Hall is resting, and so too is Lounder.
Francis bumbling once more. Pettit trying to get back in there, but pulled under by Graham, who's working very well at ground level. And a bounce will be the result. Tony Francis just a little sloppy with the hands. The Bulldogs to the northern end. Well done, Bubner. But Fosdyke got it clear, looking for Aish. Over the top of him went Jamie Thomas. McIntosh cleverly to Kelly. A long kick up to the half-forward line. And Mark Ducker showing fine judgment as the ball carried over two lots of players. And now kicks into the lead of Brendan Maynard, Rodney Maynard in fact, but Lee is in the way. Uses O'Sullivan, or Sullivan in fact, who changes direction back looking for Thomas. Ducker again, oh what a magnificent mark, but my word, didn't he fall very awkwardly. And Mark Ducker looks to be in a lot of bother. That left shoulder, collarbone.
Another player down, perhaps too much courage again. Two big marks to Mark Ducker, running with the ball. The judgment was perfect, and this time high above the pack and crashing shoulder and neck on the left side.
I would say also the head. The ball plays on anyway. It's the advantage of Norwood. It goes out towards Maynard. Rodney Maynard. He needs support badly. And in fact, he's quite happy to see that ball go over the boundary line. You're just looking at that on the slow motion. It appeared to be landed on his shoulder and his head. He's very groggy. I would be really confident of saying that he suffered a little bit of concussion there. Nevertheless, the ball out with Michael Aish. Aish darts towards the forward area. The kick wasn't good though, went straight to Brady. He gets the handball over towards Mark Pryor. Pryor kicks out wide. Oh, look at this, the courage from Ducker. He still hasn't got the correct balance. Oh, he's staggering everywhere, but he's still chasing. In fact, he's fallen over. That was absolutely courageous by Mark Ducker. Philip Graham in there. That should motivate his teammates, and it did. Oh, have a look at that, Darryl. That was unbelievable.
Well, Mark Ducker looks as if he's almost run the marathon. He's out on his feet.
A bit of a mistake by trainers, I would suggest there, that the lad should never have been allowed to do that. The umpire holding up play as Mark Ducker goes off the ground. Courage is one thing, but stupidity is another. And Mark Ducker, the player, shows the recognition of the effort. Half forward, Smith trying to work through for Centrals. Fosdyke to McIntosh. He'll swing it wide, cleverly to Pettit, who had to circle. Kicks to the centre wing area. Payne almost. Francis looking for help. Keeps the ball in play cleverly. Aish not able to do so, and the ball will be thrown in at half forward right for Norwood.
Well, the tactics have evened out. The physical clashes are starting to be controlled. And almost time for time on. It's an even game.
Bubner up high. The ball went straight down to Francis. He disposed of it quickly and won the free kick.
And the 15-metre penalty for wasting time. Over the back of the pack, Bubner. Francis tackled by Smith.
Francis tries the short pass. The leading player is Maynard. That ball was very well placed. So Rodney Maynard, who's kicked 47 goals, 21 for the season, mainly from centre-half forward or the half-forward flank, there's an opportunity to post his first. Have to start it out to the right goalpost. He opts for the left, and well, the result's obvious. Out of bounds on the full.
Well, that's the most difficult pocket at Football Park, and it'd be interesting to know if coaches give instructions to stay out of the lead in that pocket.
Sullivan, a long ball. Knocked to one by Bubner. McAdam does it cleverly into the path of Jamie Thomas. Space, Hocking on the lead, but turns infield looking for Graham. On the run is Pryor from half-back, but he's well caught. Clavey left it behind. Clavey back in there with Smith, and the ball will be bounced at centre-half forward. The tackle then applied by Kelly.
Mark Pryor, not knowing that the tackler was so near, was very lucky to not go for holding the ball.
Well, it's centre-half forward for the Bulldogs. Half a minute of time on now in this first term. Graham doing a bit of ruck work. Kelly throws it out. Rowe is well caught, but allowed to get it free. McAdam in over the top, Van Dommel tackling well, but again it's a stalemate. The bounce is still inside half forward.
Centrals using the runners in their forward line. Graham trying to run Kelly at centre-half forward.
We've had 2 minutes of time on. Anderson tried to get that ball clear. Now comes out to McAdam. Gee, he's good with his hands. Thomas drives it in forward. Warhurst met that. Couldn't control it. Kick it. Can he? Snares that around his body. He's found Jamie Thomas. That must have been Hanley before. Nevertheless, Thomas drives towards goal, but he's offline.
And should Norwood play Jamie Thomas man for man? He's been getting clear. Kick it across the face of goal, centering for Thomas. Had Lally in the pocket, just a little high and wide.
Warhurst finds Clavey with the kick in. He's got Ross a little bit shorter, but goes for the long kick looking for Kelly. Front spot with Thomas, caught one behind the ear. Didn't budge an inch. And the kick from Kelly now to centre wing. And in comes Buckley. Looking for a penalty and has got it as Wayne Pryor impeded his path. The short pass in looking for Rodney Maynard. Good spoil by Botka. Smith does it well. Sullivan supported by Schwert. Wider still for McAdam off the half-back line. Van Dommel's loose further afield. McAdam, not too many options, does it beautifully infield to find Bubner. Well done, Gilbert McAdam. McAdam circling down the outer side. Bubner having to go back, comes wide looking for Vandermaker, and Thorpe in the way. The umpire's called into play on kick it. Seizes the opportunity, but the Bulldogs are offline. In fact, it's out of play on the full.
Jared Thorpe the mark, but indicated the hand pass, played on by umpire Hilton. And kick it alert, snapping with the natural foot.
Lester Ross in that left back pocket. Kicks long to the outer side. He was looking for Craig Baum. Clavey tried to claim the crumbs. Anderson in there. He needs help. He got that ball out towards Stephen Rowe. Rowe drives down long. Brady from behind. Oh, he's been in great touch this season. Willis has enjoyed playing in defence, settling down into one position. Smith was held, but he didn't have the football. Thought about Sullivan. Play on the call. Well, it works both ways. Anderson now with a very low spearing pass out to Rodney Maynard. Couldn't control it. Pryor to Botka. Botka kicks wide. Setting himself is Pettit. Got Thomas front position. Pettit emerges with the football. Out towards McIntosh. Macca spears out a pass, but the siren sounds. And in fact, Francis won't be allowed to take that kick. Would have been interesting if he could have, because there was no one in the goal square. That ends the first term. The Dogs 1-6, 12 points, trailing Norwood 2-2, 14.
Well, it was a solid first quarter, only 3 goals kicked, but it was tough, wasn't it, Russell? Yeah, it was pretty tough. There's a few rugged ruckers.
But Anderson got it back to McIntosh, and he's found, well, he tried to find Ducker, who did have some space, but he's been cut off at the pass by Pryor. He loses his footing, gets it back to Schwert. Oh, the old 1-2. Great football as Pryor gets it out now to find Jamie Thomas. Thomas kicks around his body. The kick was poor. Brenton Maynard doing a good job in the ruck. Now Fosdyke, and out there, a good mark taken by Ducker.
Mark Ducker well down at half forward, uses the run of Fosdyke through half forward, hugging the boundary line. In fact, an unforced error from Duncan Fosdyke, and it will be a charity or a loose free kick, certainly not charity, a loose one, and used by the hand. Lally passes it back. Lee now gets the kick. Centre wing it goes. Bubner from behind, too many centimetres, but Brendan Maynard across the back. The Bulldogs supporters wanted a deliberate out of play, but it's not forthcoming. Just ahead of centre wing, the Bulldogs attacking zone going to the lake end of Football Park. The breeze blustery and across the ground. Chaplin working hard. Got boot to ball, but the free kick, although it went out of play on the full, will go back for Chaplin to be taken at centre wing.
Well, he was quieter than normal in the first half, perhaps due to that packing on the left thigh, but that kick will lift his confidence.
Sun trying to break through here at Football Park. It's been rather overcast for most of the day. And that's a good mark to Craig Kelly. He's been well on top at centre half back. Drives in looking for Ducker. He managed to get a hand of the football. Payne. David Payne's a player that can turn the game by himself. Very creative and clever. He got it out to McIntosh. He's found Stephen Rowe. Rowe one way, then the other. Put under heaps of pressure as he tried to get that out towards Aish. Rodney Maynard there. Botka, a much improved player. Rodney Maynard back towards Aish. Oh, run down by McAdam. And eventually we'll have a bounce in that left forward pocket.
And that's the perfect tackle from Gilbert McAdam. Michael Aish setting his eyes at goal.
Left forward pocket. Barm and Big Lounder, who got hand to ball, knocked out into the path of Sullivan. Fosdyke trying to keep it in. McAdam caught with the ball but allowed to pass off. And Sullivan rebounding once more. But again, Brendan Maynard playing that kick behind the play very well. Gave it to Thorpe. He's looking for Fosdyke. McAdam caught from behind. Oh, allowed to play on again. Ducker comes infield. Francis loose. Tries to break clear to Anderson. The kick into the goal square and goes through for a goal. Richard Anderson gets goal number 1. Oh, a boomer for Norwood. They're 7th. They lead by 10 points at the 5-minute mark.
Well, Anderson's been quiet during this game. His best plays have been reflex hand passes, clear of Philip Graham, seeking a forward, penetrating the defence and rolling through for a very exciting second goal for the quarter for the Legs.
Well, at half-time, the Dogs led by 3 points. Now they'll trail by 9. Maynard up high once more. I think Lounder won that one down to Lally, though. He's a player the Dogs need to come into the game. So too is this man, Chaplin. Soccering it off the ground there. It appears to be Hanley. Pettit there, close to the boundary. Keeps it in play. We'll have it thrown in front of the grandstand here. It's been hard, it's been tough. And it's certainly caused some headaches for coaches and the medicos here. There's been some solid blows, and there's a free kick to Brenton Maynard.
Well, we thought that John Hull would be dearly missed, but in this third quarter, Brenton Maynard has been a star.
He's picked out brother Rodney, who plays on quickly out to Clavey. Graham couldn't get there. Now the short pass out towards Aish. He keeps the ball in front. Oh, clever football back towards Payne. Over to Rodney Maynard. A quick fumble. Snaps towards goal. He's kicked it. And the Redlegs are on fire as Maynard posts his first goal.
Well, the Redlegs crowd go wild. Rodney Maynard, the ball back. Had 2 options, the pocket. Decided to shoot. No one home on the last line. And the forwards goal again for, well, it's his first this week. But what a play.
15-point lead. In fact, again down to Francis. Awkward kick looking for Ducker. Ducker's got that mark in opposition to Swirt. Very strong set of hands, Mark Ducker, who has matured tremendously this year. The way is Lee, the back pocket player. And Lee will switch the ball wide. Selection of Jamie Thomas or Swirt. He took the former. And infield for Lally. Big Lounder drops back. Lally thinks twice about moving on and selects infield where Botka, the full-back, is down. He's robbed. Got it off to Graham cleverly. Beautifully done to Peter Bubner. Good tackle, Ace. Persistence paying off. And Michael Ace in an exemplary manner for the Redlegs. Barm wanted the free kick, but a bounce is the result.
More desperate, the Legs. On top in the third.
Well, it's only 8 minutes into this third term. But it's been all Norwood as Payne goes forward once more. Oh, Sullivan nearly dropped that. Bounced off his chest momentarily. Now he goes in short and he finds Brady. Brady had a magnificent first term. Goes short once more looking for Lounder. Ace chips in. Couldn't control the football. Schwert there to grab the crumbs. He gets an awkward kick away. Well, the Dogs are certainly placing themselves under pressure. A high tackle there on David Payne. Payne plays on quickly. It's a high kick. Rodney Maynard, Ducker there. Maynard up high, but strong set of hands by Paul Sullivan.
Played extremely well on that last line of defence for the Dogs, running it out to Pryor. To the centre wing. Smith is loose there. Cleverly judged. Coming infield. Drives it out to Mandamaker. Beautiful pass. And Rudy has got the ball in the true centre-half forward position.
Well, that must almost be his first touch for today. Tom Warhurst has really beaten him on a break.
Long way out. Oh, the kick looks good, but it has faded offline and through for a point. The Bulldogs move to 5-9, trailing the Redlegs 8-5 by 14 points.
And that's a knee injury, I would believe, from Rudy. He came back 5 weeks ago. Hasn't been particularly mobile today.
It's very proppy. The ball is brought back into play. Setting himself with Scanlon, who was punched off. Scanlon, should I say Kelly. Of course, Scanlon was a late withdrawal due to a hamstring injury. But, his position has been more than filled by Richardson. Bubner takes front position. Maynard wins the tap from behind. That was Brenton. Now Kelly gets it out towards Claby, who drops in a short pass and he finds the chest of Ducker. Botka appears to be out on Ducker now. Up high was Brady. Picking up the crumbs is Payne. He needs support. The boundary line was too close. In fact, that's been adjudged a push in the back. So the luck flowing with Payne now. Here we see the tackle from Pryor. The handball went over to McIntosh. In turn, he gave it to Anderson. He shows a turn of speed. He starts it out to the right. Just didn't come back a lot. And you look at that breeze, Darryl, and perhaps it's just dropped a fraction.
Yes, that's obviously favouring Norwood. But Curly the changes. Stephen Swirt onto Michael Ace, forcing Mark Botka to come down the field and chase Ducker.
Sullivan into the path of Lally. Hemming in the back pocket. Chips it up to the half-forward area. Kickett versus Thorpe, the experience of Kickett. Out the back he goes. Space within which to work. Mandamaker looking to lead. Thorpe persists and holds it in. Good persistence, Thorpe. Trapped lastly by Gilbert McAdam. Still in possession. Back to Kickett. Back to McAdam. It's in fact Peter Bubner. Goes for goal. It's a low kick. Warhurst. Rudy couldn't hold it. And the ball brought under Ross, the late arrival. And a bounce will be the result.
Desperation. Greg McAdam. Back. Derek Kickett. Short to Bubner, who just gave himself some room by evading. And shot just offline.
Left forward pocket, Bubner trying to take it out of the air. The numbers are again on a stalemate situation. And the ball not moving. still in this left forward pocket of the Bulldogs. Blustery cross breeze, but at least the rain's staying away. Bubner again trying to work it out of the air. Anderson in over the top, pulled out by Chaplin, and again a stalemate ruled. The ball not able to be got out whatsoever.
12.5 minutes gone, 39 plays 54. Chaplin with a quick handle out towards McAdam. He snaps towards goal. What an incredible kick towards goal. Oh, magnificent Gilbert McAdam. And didn't the Dogs need that one? Norwood 8-6-54, Central 6-9-45.
Well, the wingman down from centre wing, Chaplin out. McAdam no time at all, snapped with the left, and it was shepherded through by two players. And Central Districts, their first goal for the quarter. Malcolm McGrath is off the interchange. Stephen Swert's been exchanged, and he'll go to take Michael Aish.
Maynard got the tap. Payne couldn't break clear. Good tackle applied by Lally, and in a bit of trouble. Gasping for breath, but it's worked back by Thorpe to McIntosh. Pryor using the body well, trying to get out was Payne. Body over the ball. He's got the free kick. Being pushed in the back. Swings it wide. It's Rowe, well placed, and will get the free kick as Lee came in the wrong way. And Stephen Rowe will take it. Will go for goal. He's hooked the ball. A little bit of time should have been taken. That's a let-off for the Bulldogs, and Norwood lead by 10 points.
That's the first sign of lack of concentration from the Bulldogs.
Well, Neil Curley's made two moves. As Darryl mentioned, Schwert has left the ground. McGrath has come on. And Gavin Chaplin, who hasn't performed well today, has also left the arena at the expense of Eddie Hocking. But this time it's the Dogs streaming forward. Hocking up high. Well, he was up before acceptances then. Play on the call. Richardson back there. Lally punches the ball forward. Philip Graham, a sweeping handball. Jamie Thomas chips around and he found Greg Smith. Bill Baum not happy. Perhaps not thinking that ball travelled far enough. Let's have a look at it on replay. I think the distance was there.
I think Baum's problem was with the jump by Hocking, which appeared to be interference further afield.
Could be right, Jerry. Smith has kicked 3, 1 in the first, 2 in the second. And he still only has 3. The Dogs 46 points, trailing Norwood 55.
Greg Smith showing a few signs of frustration there. The Dogs under pressure in the early part of third.
Warhurst out to Rowe, who had to make up for an error, then drops it up to the half-forward line. Anderson well down. Pryor tackling, robbed him of it beautifully. The kick back, Thorpe's covered it and takes the ball just ahead of half-back. Infield for Richardson. Couldn't get around, kick it. The free kick. The tide is turning. The Bulldogs building run. Hocking's loose inside half-forward. Kick it across to Smith again. And Smith will take the kick at goal once more.
Well, Greg Smith is in the forward line, has played as a follower today on 2 occasions, popping up unattended. So someone is not carrying or completing the defensive action.
3 goals so far. 1 first term, 2 second, has already had a shot. And the umpire allowing it to go on as Rowe breaks clear. Gave it to Thorpe. He chips one up to the half-forward area, Anderson. And the ball will be thrown in just ahead of the centre wing area. The umpire, caught well behind play, has ruled it went out on the bounce for a throw-in.
Well, that should just never happen, especially from a player, 31 years of age, a wealth of football experience, just ran in far too close to the man on the mark. Lounder thumps that back towards the boundary line. 16.5 minutes gone, 46 plays 55. Norwood runner out there giving instructions to, it appears to be David Payne. Payne in there after the football. Smith out to redeem himself. He was dispossessed. Now Rowe back towards McIntosh. The running support comes from Francis. Have a look at the pace on Tony Francis. He was nearly run down. He spears that towards goal. The kick was inaccurate, and that was great pressure applied by, I think, Scott Lee.
That's the name of the game in this final. Defensive action, the pressure, forcing the error.
Right beside the behind post. Knock away. Pettit trying to work it over to Rowe. He back to Francis. Francis well caught. And a free kick goes to the Bulldog defence. Fine tackle applied by Lally. The kick comes to the half-back line. Schwert, in fact, it was. Launder knocks on cleverly into the path of Thomas. Thomas kick. Tumbles one to half forward. Ross working it to the boundary line. Couldn't keep it in, and the ball will be thrown in at half forward left for the Bulldogs.
Norwood defence on top.
Bulldogs are building, seem to have gathered momentum in this last 5 or so minutes. Launder unable to get over Brenton Maynard, and it will be a bounce now at half forward.
Stephen Schwert to centre wing for Central, as opposed to Duncan Fosdyke. Thomas in the centre and Hanley on the other wing.
Well, it's probably been a trademark of Norwood's game this year. They seem to play in fits and starts, and those first 8 minutes were very explosive. But now it's the Dogs fighting back as Smith centres that ball extremely well. Oh, Hocking straight in the back of Richardson. And perhaps a little too enthusiastic there. And as you can see, the way Richardson is getting up off the ground, Hocking's knee clearly went into the backside of Richardson. They play on to the outer side. Schwert out there. Fosdyke applies the pressure. Schwert's kick is a good one, and he finds Jamie Thomas. Thomas too far out to score. He spears out a pass. Greg Smith. Oh, how loose was that? 3 times this quarter. But Smith yet to take advantage of those chances.
Tommy Warhurst points the finger at Richard Anderson. Now, is he the follower who has failed to pick up Greg Smith?
Well, Smith would be about 10 metres closer this time, at least 10 to 15. I'm sure he will not run in as close to the man on the mark. 9 points the difference. Oh, gee whiz. He's kicked 2 points this quarter and 1 into the man on the mark.
Well, Greg Smith could have put Central Districts in front, and perhaps it's tiredness, perhaps it's just that loss of concentration occurring at half-time.
Loose men inside half forward for the Bulldogs. In particular, that man Thomas. But it's a good kick in. And Warhurst to find Kelly. Thought about playing on. Quite rightly goes back for distance. Centre wing. Rodney Maynard getting up. Claby working through to Payne. Over the top. Oh, cleverly done Pryor. Beautifully done. And back to find Thomas. Not quite. Kelly backs up. Gives it to Richardson. Time for the kick, coming infield, not well directed. Ducker got in there to contest well. Rodney Maynard can't get it out. Good tackle, Lally. A bounce the result, centre wing.
Claby and Thomas clashing behind the play, just a little friendliness.
Abbott puts the ball to ground. Bubner wins that tap, straight down to McIntosh, out towards Payne. He's starting to feature in this third term. He centres that ball nicely. Brenton Maynard there. Oh, he had the arm of Sullivan. The free kick, play on advantage. Well, that was rather late. That's most unusual. Kick it, puts it out wide. Oh, straight through the hands of Smith. Geez, had some opportunities this term. Now the handball. Back there is Hanley. He went the wrong way. It goes back towards Anderson, who is well tackled by Smith. And Greg Smith redeems himself.
Obviously, that arm is not correct. He doesn't take the mark overhead well.
Yeah, that brace would appear to be somewhat restrictive. Bubner, short, finds Lally. Well, perhaps Norwood just starting to be a fraction loose now. The ball is put in long. Claby did well to get a hand of that football. Richardson through the back door, out towards Lester Ross. His kick is wide and finds the chest of McIntosh. McIntosh kicks out wide, looking for Jared Thorpe. He has Kickett to contend with. Thorpe gets there first. Kickett applies the tackle. It wasn't a good tackle. Thorpe pirouettes, drives in long. Brenton Maynard couldn't take it. Desperation. Stephen Rowe in there. And a high tackle. Rowe's not happy and perhaps has reason to feel that way. Oh, no, there it is. A fraction high. I tell you what, it's hard to apply the perfect tackle when you're at that pace, though.
McGrath from centre-half back. Smith going off. Down the centre looking for Lally, who's starting to feature in the game. Oh, clever evasion as he comes infield for Bubner, who knocked back the kicker. Barnes trip. Worked out cleverly Fosdyke. Francis the kick. Left forward pocket. And Rodney Maynard unable to pull it in. Sullivan back cleverly. The sweeper. Kicks infield. Vodka, his custodian. And the Bulldogs with possession.
Peter Bubner a little soft. Suffered that clash in the beginning, the first seconds, and has not played well.
The high kick to centre wing. Clavy's in front of Graham and has played the mark. Norwood steadying. Centre-half forward spot. Getting up high, Maynard again, but Brady, the Bulldogs getting possession clearly at half-back. Pryor, a high kick, bending off the side of the boot. Richardson takes front spot. Couldn't pull it in. Thrown out by McAdam. Fosdyke charging through, and Norwood up through the centre. A long ball to half forward.
Fosdyke's kick travels over the head of Brenton Maynard, and the mark's been taken by Sullivan. He's been a very good player today. Along with Botka, they've combined extremely well. 23 minutes gone, 47 plays 55 in favour of the Redlegs, and Pettit takes a mark in opposition to Jamie Thomas. We've mentioned on a number of occasions it's been a great game of football. The spoil by Sullivan, down to Lally. Oh, he was well bumped by Rowe, but he taps the ball out towards Scott Lee. Players running everywhere. He decides to use Bubner. He goes inboard, back towards Pryor. This time he goes out to Hanley. Hidden turn over to Eddie Hocking. Eddie Hocking spears out a pass, a bullet-like pass, and he finds Rudy Vandermaker.
Well, one of the features of Eddie Hocking's game, his skills, but also the reflex disposal. A selfishness on behalf of the little rover, spearing out the pass.
Vandermaker has kicked 56 goals, 29 for the season, but he's only managed 1 point today. He's appeared very proppy a number of times, but not that time. Big Rudy gets his first goal. The gap closes. The Dogs move on to 53 points. They trail by a mere 2 points.
And the pass from Hocking, no chance for Tom Warhurst. And since the 10-minute mark of this third quarter, Curley has made subtle changes in defence. McGrath came on to Aish. Botka down the field to the half-back line on Ducker. Sullivan on to Maynard in the square. And since that time, the defence has covered, and gradually the forwards have gained in confidence.
Peter Bubner in ruck against Craig Baum. Into time on now, this third term. Important time. And Payne bends one back to Edison, not quite. Pryor, reliable as ever. Brady to the centre-half forward spot, but Clavey covering well the mark. Graham allowing him no latitude. A kick from Clavey, looking for Rodney Maynard. Oh, that's well placed and very clumsily. The umpire not ruling, 15. Low ball, looking for Francis. Oh, and Brady. So they're really dealing out of it to the Redlegs.
The pass, the rover high, and then ridden into the ground by a bigger man.
So Tony Francis kicking one in the second and one earlier this term. Distance is longer than it looks, but the kick is online. A very good disposal from Tony Francis. Number 3, it's number 9 for the Legs, and a minute into time on, they lead by 8 points.
4 goals to 2 now. Rodney Maynard saw the opportunity, the loose rover, and although 35 metres out, Tony Francis confident in kicking accurately, and Norwood 4-2 in the third, showing superiority.
Well, the small running plays for Norwood have been quite effective in this term. Francis has kicked 2, Anderson kicked 1, and David Payne has had some telling touches around the ground. Nevertheless, it's been quite amazing the way Central fought their way back in the second half of this quarter. Jack Hilton puts the ball to ground. Baum's been quiet since that first term. Out towards Fosdyke. Payne tried to tap the ball forward. Richardson overran that. Pryor in there. Well tackled. Attempted to handball that. Clavey received a tap on the head and just explains his displeasure to Rene van Dommel. Central captain been quiet today. He's come back from the flu. Balm. Tap wasn't effective. We'll have a repeat of that performance by Jackie Hilton. There's Greg Smith. That's the handicap he's playing with, apart from a lack of match practice. So that damaged forearm. 53 plays 61, 27.5 minutes gone. Anderson, clearing kick. The ball is high. Aish at the front. Brenton Maynard from behind. Francis looking for the crumbs. Oh, desperate work by the Bulldog defence. Oh! Holding the ball, and look at Sullivan. Well, we'll have a look at that again. We'll let Darryl Hicks be the judge.
Well, I think you've got to think that Paul Sullivan was a bit stiff. Exactly. He was trapped, both arms and the ball. But Mark Ducker, well placed. Wind from right to left.
He's kicked one goal. Let's see if he can rub salt into the wounds here. Perhaps, just perhaps, a little bit of justice in that kick. Norwood move on to 62 points, leading Central 53.
3.5 minutes of time on now played in this third term. Botka going wide to the leader, Peter Bubner. Balm makes front spot, couldn't control it. Pryor forces it to the line. And a throw in well around from the behind post beneath the scoreboard. Rain still staying away, a bit of sunshine at the moment. Balm reaching high, Payne left it behind, Gilbert McAdam seizes, and at 11 time Norwood that lead by 9 points. The Redlegs 9-8-62, Central 7-11-53.
We rejoin the match at the 10-minute mark of the last quarter.
Final term.
Busy rover David Payne off the interchange. Botka quickly to Lee.
Out of side, Lee driving up looking for Hanley. In pursuit is Pettit. Hanley trying to play the white line. Pettit pursuing all the way, man for man. And the kick going out of play on the full of the end. Persistence paying off for Pettit. And he'll get the free kick up on the half-back line. Back it's taken by Ross. He kicks a high ball to the centre half forward, and Kelly, very strong mark. Going for distance. Inside half forward, Buckley out versus McGrath, who took front spot. Beautiful judgment, and holds up the Redlegs once more.
Well, Malcolm McGrath, involved in a couple of telling passages of play. Now Brady over towards Sullivan. Sullivan sweeping handball to Bubner. Now he can run. He decides to handball to Vandermaker. He lifts the eyes, drives in long. There's Launder back there waiting for it. Warhurst got back there as well. Great work, Tommy Warhurst. Richardson clears. Smith is there. He needs support. Gets it back around his body, but there's that man, Tom Warhurst. The kick out wide. He finds Anderson. The Redlegs trying to set up the loose man. The short pass finds Pettit. Time running out. 54 plays 63. Pettit over the top towards Stephen Rowe. 11.5 minutes gone. Rodney Maynard with the football.
Right on the kick, Rene van Dommel driving at Stephen Rowe.
Oh, Anderson, what about the run? He started in the back pocket. He lines up the goals. Barnes back there. Botka got the hand there just in time. Minor score. 64 plays 54.
The little things, Richard Anderson ran the length of the ground to get the overlap and the shot for goal.
Botka a little bit undecided. Now McGrath drops in, but he puts a high kick out. Looking out there for Sullivan, who has marked in superb form all day. Ducker being brought back on the mark, and that has been a very good move also by Curley on Ducker, who marked extremely well before. A 15-metre penalty now paid. And Sullivan brought up to the half-back line. Again, kick short as Van Dommel created to the centre wing. Chaplin kicking under pressure, bends it to the centre half forward spot. Warhurst, very strong mark. Slips it wide for the running Richardson. Rodney Maynard had given the lead, but the ball's put up high for front man. This time Ducker out Mark Sullivan. Anderson again provides the run. Through half forward. Long to the goal square. Doubling back across the path. Buckley gave it off to Payne. Payne looking for help. Got it back. Barham. Back to Payne. Payne infield. Oh, wasn't good. Buckley couldn't get possession. In trouble. Buckley again. Lee smothers. Anderson. Francis looking for it. Chaplin out. And finally Lally. A long ball. Van Dommel slips. Anderson again. Van Dommel to Bubner. The kick at centre wing. High ball. And Jamie Thomas nudges out post line for the mark.
Just the subtle use of the body. But what aggressive football.
Oh, this game has been played at tremendous pace as Chaplin drives the ball in. He wants Mandermaker. It's over the head of that player. The mark not paid to Kelly. Mandermaker in there. He needed support. He's hocking the answer. No, he's not, because that man, Tom Warhurst, was there again. Claby. Oh, well done, Claby. Out towards Richardson. And Rowe takes the mark as he sat on the ground. And in fact, I think he's cramped up. Well, he never took his eyes off the football. Oh, this game has had everything. The kick is high. Maynard front position. Payne was in the correct position, but he couldn't take the crumbs. Van Dommel was held. He can't pick the football up. He steals it now. Gets it back to Gilbert McAdam. Oh, great evasion, McAdam, as he kicks out wide and he finds Jamie Thomas. Now, Thomas should get it in quick to Lounder. Kickett is standing there flat-footed. It's a screw punt kick. Smith sets himself. Now he looks for the crumbs. He needs support. He handles straight to Richardson, who gives it to Warhurst, and the Redlegs are out of trouble through Pettit.
Pettit dropping down into the space, doing it well. Now has to go for Rodney Maynard. It's a long ball. Rodney Maynard leads Lally, but the white line wins out. Bootless Rodney Maynard to throw in ahead of centre wing.
And 100 metres clear of Craig Braddy, who seems to have lost his leg in the chase for Rodney Maynard.
Peter Bubner working like a Trojan this final term. Rodney Maynard, indecision, but moved it to Francis. Trouble, but the youngster's got himself out of it. Right forward pocket. And McGrath doing a great job on Buckley on that last line of defence. It's another throw-in.
15 minutes into the last quarter. Still 10 points between the two sides, and Norwood holding well against the breeze.
Well, I think you've called it correctly, Darryl. Braddy, just before, when Francis ran around him, Braddy couldn't lift his legs as Rowe gets the handball out towards it. Anderson, he's had a ton of run in this last term. Have a look at that for a kick. He's flipped the centre from the right forward pocket. They lead by 16 points. That was Anderson's second goal. And Anderson to the middle. What a match-winning move.
Has the pace wide. Rowe put it out for him. And as he's shown in the previous sortie, had the legs to get clear. And McIntosh's injury may prove very well to be a match-winning cause. Lounder off and Hanley on.
Hanley going to the forward line as Barham does battle at the centre. Rudy Mandermaker back to Bubner. Good play. Oh, clever evasion by Bubner. A long ball inside half forward. Chaplin, good mark in opposition to Ross.
The injured Rover holding ground against Lester Ross and standing tall.
45, maybe 60-degree angle. The distance should not be a problem. Gavin Chaplin, who's kicked 32 for the year, has put it offline for a point. So the Bulldogs move to 7-13, trailing Norwood 10-10 by 15 points at the 17-minute mark.
And that kick strained as he leant back on the injured leg, showing that perhaps the risk of playing the Rover has been at fault.
Well, it hasn't been a big day at the office for Chaplin. That mark was good by Richardson. So too was the feed out to Ace, whose pass was perfect to Ducker. Sweeping handball into Claby. Oh, tackled by Kickett. Payne. Thorpe. Oh, great work by Sullivan. Geez, been a battler today. Pryor, Francis, The live wire, Francis. Now it's tapped forward by Van Dommel. McAdam over the top. Kickett's having a bit of a fight on the centre wing there as the ball is driven in long and high, but the mark's been taken by Richardson.
Richardson lining up at half-back when Justin Scanlon pulled out of the side has played well. Bubner sets, Rodney Maynard at the back, Francis working through, front man gets the decision. Tony Francis, the Redlegs have lifted, particularly this man Ace, in exemplary manner, beginning to run. Fosdyke now to the lead of Brendan Maynard, couldn't quite get there. Anderson to ground, well done Lee. Rowe gives it back, Buckley, Fosdyke to the goal square, a long ball, McGrath sets, couldn't quite take it at the back, it's Pettit. The wingman Pettit down right in the goal square, the opportunity for his first, and the Redlegs by 21 at the 18-minute mark.
Norwood the run. Fosdyke to the back, McGrath just under one hand only, and wingman Pettit. What a timely goal. Baum can't control himself. 19 minutes into the final quarter, and the Redlegs with 2 goals in this quarter, looking strong.
Well, if the Legs are to get up and win this game, or to stay in front, that win becomes even more meritorious because they've done it without John Hall, who was injured in the first term. The ball out towards McAdam. He's dispossessed. Anderson has been in everything in this final term. Now Pettit around his body. Maynard there in front of Praddy. Rodney Maynard plays on quickly to Craig Baum. He slipped over at the crucial moment. Back to Rodney Maynard. Out wide, loose men everywhere. Ducker has kicked one.
And the difference, the Legs have legs in the final quarter.
Well, Norwood do get up. Mark Ducker can take a lot of credit for this victory. Concussed in the first term. Couldn't even stand up. And one of the most courageous second-term efforts I've ever seen. Got his side right back into the game. Have a look at that for a kick. He's been through his second. The Redlegs lead by 27 points. We've had 20 minutes. And Central District, they look like losing their 7th final in succession.
Rodney Maynard placed the ball brilliantly to Mark Ducker, and Norwood have had the legs. Anderson to the centre. Rodney Maynard, too much pace.
Well, Norwood went on and really made a mess of Central District in that last quarter. Norwood won the match 15-10-100 to Central District, 8 goals, 13-6.